Namaste all, hope you're doing well. Welcome to your practice. Today's practice will be our foundation Hatha, that beginner accessible, beginner friendly practice. Always remembering there will be a few challenges dotted throughout to keep you engaged with your practice as ever, but please mindfully apply. No pressure, no force, only working to a point that's best and most comfortable for you. If maintaining a seated position is achievable for you for a few moments and it's comfortable to maintain, please adopt any seated variation where you can lift your spine as best you can. If this is uncomfortable, lying down position is welcome, so choose which is appropriate for you. If you're in a seated position, perhaps you adopt a hand gesture. Any variation is welcomed, a mudra if you're comfortable. No matter where you choose to be, eyes closed and the mouth closed. And we'll take a few moments to really land and to arrive, create space for your practice. Within this space that you're endeavouring to create for yourself, you're mindful that you're not trying to suppress, you're not trying to wrestle the mind into being present. Instead, just begin a shift of the awareness. Tune into your physical body. As you step towards your practice, how does the physical body feel? Make a similar inquiry into condition of the mind. And with this attuned awareness of both the physical body and the mind, we'll draw our complete attention upon the breath. With the simple intention of just witnessing, experiencing how the breath moves through the body. And we'll do so at the very center of the belly. Allow the breath to flow. And with your awareness resting on the belly, note the response. How the belly rises and expands in response to the incoming breath. And how the belly gently falls on the outgoing breath. The belly rises with the incoming breath. The belly falls with the outgoing breath. And continue with this awareness for a few moments. If you find your mind, your awareness being drawn away to any other thoughts, sensations, sounds, be patient. Softly bring it back. Belly rising with the incoming breath. Belly falls with the outgoing breath. Belly rises and falls. If you're in a seated position, please do remain as you are. If you've chosen any other variations, softly begin to stir. And mindful of any dizziness if you're in a lying down position. Push up when you feel steady. Any seated variation. Namaste mudra. If comfortable, palms to press in front of the chest as you take a moment to set intention, a sankalpa, or dedication for your practice. Release your hands, chin to chest, a few gentle blinks, opening of the eyes. Namaste. Softly release the hands. I'll encourage you to cross your legs over if you're not already there, and then to raise your knees up from that point. However, your one or both legs can be out in front if that's required. Knees come high, then you work with drawing thighs into the chest. Your hands can be behind you if necessary. Little practice, maybe you're clasping your thighs, then your shins, and if it feels good and accessible, the wrists or the forearm. Lift the spine as tall as you can, so you're sitting as tall as you can. Chin sets a little back. And if you haven't already done so, begin to put a little conscious effort into the breathing. That soft and steady breath in and out through the nose. Beautiful. Now you can remain here. This is tremendous work, working with lengthening your spine. If it's part of your practice, you're just playing around with a little balance this morning, you can lift one foot. And if that's accessible, focusing on a point, you can lift another foot. If this is very challenging or uncomfortable, you could also have the hands behind you, but the shoulders are drawing down the back, and you can practice lifting one foot here and then the other foot, but no fight. Little by little you build your practice. Now, very steady. You include another challenge in the balance. Turn your gaze lightly to your right. Start from a mild double chin, then turn your gaze. So you want to maintain that length in the neck as you softly turn your gaze, head and neck to the right. You're breathing, the breath flows. Back through the center, with care. How slow and steady can you work as you progress to your left? Feel the length in the back of the neck. As you turn the head, you're not jutting the chin front. It's maintaining a mild double chin and the neck is long. Beautiful, back to center. Now you can ground your feet if they're raised and sweep your legs to the side, come front to all fours. Little further play, or release the hands, grab the ankle or the shin, heel a little closer to the bum, take the hands front, then raise tall on all fours. But don't fight, come front whichever way is necessary for you. Once you've arrived, the eventual intention is about a forearms distance in between the knees, then a forearms distance from the knees to where the hands are placed. Fingers are well spread, and then raising tall on the hands and the knees. But don't fight to be here. Your hands can be further front as you need to if you find that particular challenge. Note the reaction of the elbows. Often our elbows will be pointing out to the side. You want the point of the elbow pointing back towards the knee, so the elbow pits are pointing front. So it's a light external rotation to the shoulders, and we'll endeavour to maintain that each time we come onto the hands and the knees. Beautiful. Now this is good. Little challenge in the coordination. We'll imagine there's a point between the knees and a point between the hands. Small circles are made around these points coming together in a figure of 8. Start with the lower body. Make a half a circle around the point between the knees, then complete a full circle around the point between the hands, and completing the bottom circle, bringing together the figure of 8. Start with smaller, slower rotations, endeavouring to keep your hands fully connected with the mat and the arms in that external rotation, so with our elbow pits pointing straight back. If this is particularly challenging, working towards it, don't fight. Keep the palms fully grounded with the middle fingers pointing front. Then changing directions, smaller circles in the opposite direction. Note where you feel it, the reaction in your wrist, your shoulder blade, the hip, outer and inner, the knee. Beautiful, and back to center. Shoulder over wrist as best you can, or the original setup that's best for your wrist. Spread the fingers, particularly the thumbs. Your arms remain in that external rotation, so a point of the elbow points back towards your feet. Few gentle rounds of your tiger breathing. Head is lasting to move. As you inhale, arch your lower back. Perceive as the belly working towards the back. The middle back, the upper back. Draw the shoulder blade down the back and lightly lift the head. As you exhale, round the lower back. Head is lasting to release. Middle back, upper back, then release the head. Head is lasting to lift. Inhale, arch lower, middle, upper. Draw the shoulder blade down the back, lightly lift the head. Exhale, round lower, middle, upper. Release the head around the spine. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Beautiful. Next inhale back to an easy spine gaze slightly front. Arms still in that position of elbows, points pointing back. This is good. Keep the hands where they are. As you exhale, bend at the knees. The intention is sitting back on the heel, but you can be anywhere before it, and endeavouring to keep the toes in line with the knee, but build towards it. Inhale, smoothly raising back up. Exhale, pushing back. Inhale, raising up. Exhale, pushing back. Inhale, raising up. Feels good. Tuck the toes, same movement. Exhale, pushing back. Inhale, raising up. Exhale, pushing back. And if very comfortable, maintain it there for a moment, but don't fight. Breathe really well. Feels good if your toes are tucked and you're not, there's no particular pressure or force. A light rock side to side. A little toe rock. Beautiful. Come to rest with the toe rock. We'll raise back up in the hands and the knees and untuck the toes. Now the intention from here is to raise one hand at a time and to raise one leg at a time. We'll do so one after another. The intention here, keep the sternum drawn up. The ribs are lightly drawn up. If you allow the ribs to drop down, a lot of work comes in the shoulder. So the ribs slightly drawn up, but there's minimal disturbance to the lower back. Once you drop your ribs, you're not rounding completely through the lower back. Light drop the ribs, the lower back remains free. All is well here. Lifting up just the left hand. But when you think lifting up the left hand, rather than bending the elbow or bringing the hand towards the leg, can you lift up through the left side of the rib cage? So there's almost one side of the shoulder torso hiking up higher than the other. And be there for a moment. Fingers well spread. The intention is you're trying to avoid leaning to the right side. You're staying centered, picking up through the left side of the rib cage with the left arm remaining straight. Beautiful. Then grounding the left hand. Keep the ribs drawn up so this keeps the torso steady. All the weight isn't in the arms. Lift up the right side of the rib cage. Note that I'm not leaning to the left. Working towards maintaining center as best you can. Keep breathing. Beautiful. Grounding the right hand. Your awareness comes into your hips. The awareness is coming into the left hip initially. You want to raise the hip up higher than the right. So as best you can, it's a little hike up. You're not leaning to the right side. Little hike up of the left hip higher than the right. Recognize where the ribs are. Still lightly drawn. You're breathing. Beautiful. Grounding the left. Hiking the right up. So the right hip hikes up a little higher than the left side. Note that you're staying centered, you're not leaning into the left side of the body. Ribs are lightly drawn up. The chin, mild double chin. Beautiful. Grounding the right. You can keep the knees a distance they are apart. Tuck the toes and softly sit back on the knees. Arms out to either side. If necessary, you can be behind the knees if this is a challenge for your toes, your ankle, your knee or your hip. Arms out to either side, knee to bend, the elbows past the face front, then lightly pour out. You have an imaginary glass or bottle of something in your hand and you're endeavouring to pour it out behind. Trying to bring the elbow up in front and around, up and over even. Chin is back, ribs are back and down. Beautiful, release the hands, shoulders free. You can come to standing with hand support if you're just playing around. We'll endeavour to come with no hand support. So raising your knees if you're not already there. One smooth step or a few steps. Take your right or your left leg front, but make sure your heel to toe is firmly grounded. This is good here. Think feet pushing away from each other. Smoothly come up. We'll take the time. Once you're up, come to Tadasana. So your mountain pose, feet together, toes and heels to touch. Hands come to the side of the body. Now if this is a disturbance for your ankles, toe, feet a little distance apart, but toes always pointing directly ahead. Feels good, feet together. Hands come to the sides of the body, gaze is front, ribs are down a little back if necessary, chin is a little back, and be here for a few moments. How tall can you truly stand? Often throughout the day we spend a lot of time on our feet, we're often overbearing on one side or the other, pushing the hip to one side or the other. How can you truly become centerized? Toes and heels, left and right. Breathe. Beautiful. Now if this feels good, mindfully applying without disturbing much. As you inhale, take your arms out to the side. Shoulder height, flip your palm. All is well, endeavour to bring the arm in line with the ears, pass the press. And lightly gaze up and no challenge in the neck. If this is a challenge, arms can be lower. Next exhale, release out to the side. Shoulder height, flip the palms to face down. Think the bottom of your breath, hands to the thighs. But breathe as much as you need to. Inhale, if you can coordinate, raise the arm. Flip the palm. In line with the ear, come the arm, slightly gaze to the thumb. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, smoothly raise. Feel that even weight is maintained in the feet, no strain on the neck. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, smoothly raise. You're mindfully applying, be there for a moment, but no fight. Thinking your shoulder blades are working rocking on your back, creating space between the shoulder and the ear, even if it's necessary to bring your arms lower to achieve this. Create space. Your next exhale, release the arms out to the side, shoulder height if you can, and palms to face down. The gaze is straight ahead. If there's a solid object behind you, for instance in my the case, there's a wall, so we'll turn to the side. To where there's space, then we'll extend the leg behind. Arms shoulder height if this is fatiguing, hands to the hips. Challenge on the balance. Focus on a point in front of you, bend the right knee, lift the heels, feel a weight switch into the left leg, so already you're balancing. If it feels steady, however, we'll proceed to raise the right leg up a little, towards your comfortable edge, to the point where the spine is lifting. You're trying to avoid leaning back to lift the leg, trying to avoid rounding through the spine. You're bringing your chest towards your thigh. You want the thigh to raise towards the chest. Spine is lifted. Beautiful. Now if this is good, we'll just play around a little further. As you exhale, point the right toes down. Extend the right leg behind and ground the tips of the right toes. So you can be here. Spine is lifted, the right leg is extended behind. Any degree. It can be small degree and that's beautiful work. Little practice, however, the right foot raises a touch off the mat. Further more practice, you begin to hinge front from the left hip. So your torso is working front. And the right leg is simultaneously coming up from behind. But there's no fight for depth. Playing with your practice. Feel the even weight in the left foot. Where does the weight want to switch? Perhaps to the outer edge of the foot. Can you share it more? Inner edge. Little by little. Beautiful. Focus on your point. Bend in the left knee. Extra challenge. If the right foot is raised, can you bring the right leg back without groaning the foot? We'll just play. Raise the right thigh high. And exhale, release the right foot to meet the left. And release the hands. The light rolling out of your shoulders in one direction. And in the other direction. Neck and shoulders free. Hands to the hips if the shoulders are particularly fatigued. Feels good. Mindfully applying, creating strength, stability. Shoulder height. Bend the left knee. Lift the heel. Feel a weight switch into your right leg. This is you can be here. Little practice. Left foot little off the mat. Further practice, you raise the thigh towards your comfortable point where you can maintain the integrity and liftedness of the spine. Keep focusing on a point. Being as you are, if comfortable, point the left toes down. Initially, as you exhale, extend the left leg behind. Be here, toes can be grounded as you get your balance. Further practice, the left foot can lift a little and you can lean front just a touch, but the whole of the body is working in a straight line. As you fold from the left leg, the toes to the crown of the head are working in a straight line as you fold front. Focus on your point, right knee can be bent as you need to. Little by little by little. Think more engaging through below the navel. And you're breathing. Breathing makes you light. Beautiful. Inhale smoothly back. Keeping the left foot up off the mat if you can, but don't fight for it. Raise the left thigh high. Exhale, release the left foot to reach the right. Release the hands. And light rolling out of the shoulders one direction and the other direction. Back to your Tadasana. The feet together, the toes and heels to touch, the hands to the side of the body, the gaze is front. Ribs are slightly back, the chin is slightly back. Feel and breathe. That even weight, left and right side of the body, toes and the heels. Very comfortable. Next inhale, take the arms out to the side, shoulder height with the palm. Arm in line with the ears, perhaps you're gazing to the thumb, but no fight in the neck. Exhale, release. Inhale, smoothly raise it. Feels good, be there for a moment. Good connection, heel of palm, base of fingers, pads of fingers, trying to avoid that interlacing or locking of the fingers. All is well. If you're gazing up to any degree, drop your gaze straight ahead, mild double chin. Take the arms to your shoulder distance apart and palms to face front. Few gentle rounds of ankle stretches. Ribs are back and keep the hips in the position they're in. Trying to avoid pushing the hip front to come up. As you inhale, use your calf muscles. Smoothly raise the heel. Focus on a point in front of you. As you exhale, simultaneously release your arms and release your heels. Inhale, smoothly raise it. Exhale, release. Inhale, raise. Exhale, release. Inhale, raise. Now please note you can continue with this variation, this is beautiful work. But if you're just playing around, as you exhale, release your arms towards parallel. Staying on your toes if you can. Keep the spine lifted, but bend in the knees. Only coming to a depth that's best for you. There's no force of fight. Challenges are welcome, but no pressure. Inhale, stay in the toes. Extend the arms really well. Sternum back. Exhale, release your arms towards parallel. Stay on the toes if it feels good. Bending at the knee to any degree. Spine is lifted. Inhale, raise. The last round. Exhale, continue with the original variation, but feels good. You can bend the knee. Choose a depth that's best for you. No fight. Inhale, smoothly up. Really lengthen it. Your next exhale, release your arms. Release your heels. Back to Tadasana. How are you sharing the weight now? Is it different to the start of your practice? All directions evenly as best you can. Gaze front, chin is back. Super. Turning to face the front edge of your mat, so one of the short edges of your mat. Be a foot's distance or so, maybe a little more from the front of the mat. Feet shoulder distance or a little wider. Toes pointing straight ahead. Mindfully applying in a straight legged forward fold. Any challenge in the back of the body, taking care of the degree and the depth you come in. Hands on the thighs, legs straight if comfortable, if necessary, however you can bend in the knees. Push the bum a little back so you notice that your hip is behind your heel and you'll automatically feel a hinge from the front of your hip. Sternum is a little back as you softly begin to fold from the front of the hip. Hands are bracing on the thighs, so look at your thighs. Your hands are not on your knees, they're on your thighs and they're taking a little weight. The first intention is straighter legs, the second intention is a lengthening lumbar spine. So where is the point that you come to that you begin to round? Can you just be before that point? Your chin and a mild double chin. So you're drawing your face up and away from the ground. Feel and breathe. Where do you feel it? Beautiful. Very comfortable pushing your hips to your right. Maintaining it there. If you're with the straight legs, endeavouring to be and continue with straight legs if necessary. Knees equally bent. To your left, breath flows. Lips are slightly drawn. Beautiful. Back to center. Bending your knees lightly, but can you bend your knees in the direction of your toes? Then as much as you need to bend your knees so you can get your fingers in front of your feet. This could be 2 to 3 foot or so in front of your feet. Then shift your knees towards your fingers. Bend your knees generously. And sit on the heel. Spine is lifted. The knees can point out in a slight angle if required. Your hands can be front. If this creates a challenge for you, particularly on the ankle, the knee or the hip, and this variation may be accessible, grounding your knees, sitting on the heel, being here. If this is a challenge or uncomfortable, you can untuck your toes and sit back on the heel or any seated variation. If you're mindfully applying, it's comfort part of your practice, you're balancing on your toes, feet are almost shoulder distance, a little less, you can bring them closer if required. Very comfortable, you can bring your palms lightly pressed in front of the chest. Focused on the point. Your center of gravity is active, so your base of pelvic is concentrically, lightly drawing up, below the navel becomes active. Breathe. Focus on your voice. Beautiful. And no, it's challenging, there's never a force, just play. Beautiful. Releasing your hands if you've raised them to any degree. Sweeping your legs around if you're on any other variation, and coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward dog. The good distance between the hands and the feet. Shoulder blade works up the back, so your shoulder blades are working towards your hips. And the ribs are lightly drawn up. The crown of your head is pointing directly towards the point in between your hands. Breathe really well. Necessary bend in the knee to maintain length in the spine. Little practice, once there's a little bit more length in the back of the leg, you can work with straighter legs. Beautiful. Grounding your knees. You're thinking that Vajraswasa tiger breathing setup. Almost a forearm distance in between the knees. Forearm distance or a little more between the knees and the hands, then raising up and hands underneath. Fingers well spread. Very much like the start of your practice, you're working with that external rotation to the shoulder. So think moving from the bicep to try and point the elbow point to point back, your elbow pits point front. The fingers are spread, your ribs are slightly drawn up. This is good here. Lift the left hand up without bending the elbow. Think lifting of the left side of the rib cage, the upper rib cage almost. Feel and breathe. You're trying to avoid that swing to the right side. Beautiful. Grounding the left. Without swinging to the left side, raise the right up. Think lifting the right side of the upper rib cage. Keep the ribs slightly drawn up. Right arm remains straight. Chin in a mild double chin. Beautiful. Grounding the right hand. Raising the left knee, left leg. Think hiking the hip up. One hip hikes up a little higher than the other without leaning to the right side. Beautiful. Grounding the left knee. Raise the right knee up now. Think hip, right side of the hip hikes up higher than the left side. Beautiful. Grounding the right knee, tuck the toes, gently push back. Take a rest for a moment, endeavour to keep the hands where they are. Can you really spread the fingers apart? Almost creating a right angle between the thumbs and the index finger. Working towards such an angle. Really, really good. Beautiful. Next inhale, smoothly raising back on the hands and the knees. Ribs are slightly drawn. Fingers are spread, and the point of the elbows points back towards the knees. This is good here. Your next exhale, turn your gaze to your right and looking for your right foot. But don't fight the neck. Inhale, center. Exhale to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, back to center. Keep lightly pushing away the mat. A few gentle rounds of the tiger breathing. As you inhale, arch and lower. The middle, the upper, light, lift the head. Exhale around the lower, middle, upper, release the head. Inhale, arch. Exhale around. Inhale, arch. Exhale around. Beautiful. Lightly push away the mat. Next inhale, back to an easy spine. Bend at the knees, sitting back on the heel if you can. You can ground your elbow to your forearm, perhaps for a brief moment. Flip the palm to face towards the ceiling. And you can even release the head entirely. Be here for a few steady breaths. 3 breaths. Beautiful. Lift the head if you've dropped it to any degree. Comes back into a mild double chin. Flip the palms back over. Really spread the fingers. Raise back in the hands and the knee. So all is well here. Straighten the left leg. Tuck the toes and straighten the left leg as best you can. So you note there's a straight line from your heel all the way to the point of the shoulder. If this is good here, you can work at one leg at a time or both knees grounded. Little practice, you raise the right leg also. Recognize if you're dropping the knees lower, a lot of pressure on the lower back. Keep the hip a little up. Keep the sternum a little drawn back. So the ribs drawn up and back. Really spread the fingers. Shoulder blades work down the back. A few steady breaths. You're already over halfway there. Breathe. Beautiful. If you haven't already done so, ground your knees. Come down whichever way is necessary. Little practice. Squeeze your elbows close, your thighs, your belly, your chest and your chin. Untuck your toes once they're grounded. Release your hands down to the sides of the body. And take your feet to be as wide as your hips. So please note there's many variations as we just play around with the practice. Bend both knees, heel towards the bottom muscle. Now the intention is reaching back and clasping a shin or an ankle. If that is challenging or uncomfortable, you can work without the clasp and still work beautifully through the asana. All is well, however. Reaching back, but perhaps before you reach back, keep the pelvis taut. Front of the pelvis, lightly pushing into the ground as you reach back, grab one leg, then reach back and grab the other leg. Keep thinking rather, the slight tuck of the pelvis. Whether you're clasping the legs or not, as you inhale, we'll just intend to raise the head and the chest. As you inhale, keep the pelvis slightly tucked, raise head and chest and roll the shoulder. As you exhale, return the chin. If it's challenging with the chin, please be with the forehead. Inhale, raise head, raise the chest, roll the shoulders. If you're clasping the legs rather, kick the legs into the hands, but keep the thighs grounded. Exhale, release. Inhale, raise head and the chest towards your comfortable degree. Exhale, release. Super. Now you can continue with this variation, but if all is well, we'll play around with the full expression of the asana, of Dhanurasana, the bow pose, the raising of the head, the chest and the legs. But there's no fight. Note your body's reaction. The pelvis is tucked into the ground. As you inhale, raise your head, raise your chest, and perhaps you raise your thighs. Any degree is welcome. Exhale, release. Inhale, smoothly raise. Exhale, release. Last round. Inhale, smoothly raise. And if you're mindfully applying in your practice here there, just 3 steady breaths. If your heels are a little closer to your bum when you're in the class, can you kick your legs away from the body? Create a little space. Beautiful. Exhale, coming down. Release the clasp of the ankles if you were there. Straighten the legs. Take the hands either side of the chest. Take care as you push back, bending at the knees. Taking your knees to be as wide as your mat, working towards that distance, big toes to touch, sitting on the heel. First variations, arms extending out in front, push away the mat and forehead grounded. If necessary, stack palms or stack fists to support the forehead, be here. Beautiful. If you've released your head, lifting your head slightly, extending your arms out in front. If you've chosen any other variation besides extended out in front, the head is slightly lifted. A downward facing dog is the intention. Remembering the distance between hands and feet is correct for downward facing dog in the position you're in. We'll endeavour to maintain this as we come up. Raise the hip. Keep the distance between the hands and the feet, but take the toes shoulder distance. Raise the knees, then push the hip up and back. Bend can be maintained in the knees if required. Feels good and accessible. Work towards straighter legs, but no fight for it. Really spread the fingers, spread the thumb. Point to the elbow, just like we were in Vajraswasa, the tiger breathing. The intention is that elbow is pointing back towards the feet. Chin, mild double chin. Few steady breaths. Beautiful. Bend the knees slightly. Come front whichever way is required for you. Little practice. Right knee, right wrist. Shin is diagonal. Left shin or ankle stacks on top. Then sitting back. But don't fight for it. Come front in whichever way is necessary for you. Both legs extended front initially. Spine as lifted as you can. The left hip, knee and ankle works in a straight line. Allow the right foot to drop out and then bend the knee. The right foot can rest against the left calf. The left thigh, little practice, the heel comes nice and close to the left groin. Right, left leg's engaged. If necessary, bend the left knee. Little practice, straighter leg. Hands either side of the left knee. Take an inhale, mild double chin. Exhale, think working from the hip. Little by little you're falling over the left leg. To any degree, I know it's challenging, but the toes point up towards the ceiling and they draw back towards you so your heel is pushing away. No challenge in the neck. Keep the focus towards the left foot. Beautiful. Inhale, smoothly coming up. Raising the right knee up. You can place the right foot next to the left knee on the right side. If it feels good and accessible, jump the foot over to the outside edge of the left knee. Left leg remains engaged as best you can. Wrap the left arm around the right leg. Right hand right side and behind. If it's very steady, your right hand can reach around and start for the top of the left thigh, but mindful you're not resisting, trying to fall over. Spine is lifted. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Slightly twist to your right. No challenge in the neck. The gaze softly falls. Inhale smoothly back. Return the right foot to its own side and re-straightening the leg. Bend the left knee now, left foot to right calf, the right thigh. Feels good, bring the heel nice and close to the right groin. Hands either side of the right leg if that's accessible. You can be behind if required. Take an inhale. Exhale, fall in front. Inhale, length. Exhale, depth. No fight, just play. But be active on your exhale. It's not passive fall each exhale. You're endeavouring to go a little deeper. Inhale smoothly back. Walk the hands back towards you. Raise the left knee up. Left foot can slide down and be close to the inner edge of the right knee. Feels good. It jumps over outer edge of the knee. Wrap the right arm around the left leg now. Left arm left side and behind, but if you feel steady, you're not struggling to maintain in a seated position, perhaps the left arm sweeps around and starts from the top of the right hip. Inhale, you sit tall no matter where you are. Exhale, you get a little twist no matter where you are. Light twist to your left. No pressure on the lower back. No pressure on the neck. Beautiful. Inhale smoothly back to center. Returning the left foot to its own side. We'll keep the bend in the knee. We'll take the left foot a little wider than the hip. We'll bend the right knee and we'll bring that to be a little wider than the hip also. The feet are firmly grounded in all directions. Toes, heels, outer and inner edge. All is well here. Take the hands a small distance behind you. The fingers can point away or you can have your fingers pointing towards your feet. Choosing which is appropriate for you. Recognize where your shoulders are. Your shoulders come up close to your ears. Can you push away the ground? Recognize this lift and space it creates in the chest, the space between the shoulder and the ear. And perhaps your feet need to come a little closer. Bring them to the point that you can firmly ground your feet. Feel even weight in your hands also. Now you can be here. This is beautiful work. But if all is well, keep pushing away the ground with the hands. Raise the hips slightly. And be here for a moment. Breathe really well. Recognize that the shoulders are collapsing around the ears. Keep pushing away the ground. I know this is challenging, but it's just a little play. Keep breathing. If you're very steady, you're just playing around with your practice. Without leaning to the right too much, raise your left hand up and touch the right knee. Then replace the left hand down. Right hand, left knee, left hand, right knee, right hand, left knee. But keep pushing away the ground with the left side. Left hand, right knee, right hand, left knee, left hand, right knee. Then grounding both hands. Feels good. We'll come towards the front edge of our mat. The left foot, right hand, right foot, left hand, left foot, right hand, right foot, left hand, left foot, right hand. And slowly bring the bum to the ground. Release the hands from behind if it's comfortable for you. As you inhale, just one rock back, coming onto your back. And let it rolling side to side. A smooth rolling side to side. Next exhale, now challenging your neck from a mild double chin. Raise your head and bring your nose towards your knees, around the spine, nice tight butt. Inhale, release the head. Release the legs, release the arms, release and rest in a few minutes of Shavasana. End of your practice. Readjusting your body into a position that is comfortable and resembles the position of effortlessness, whatever the degree or orientation that is for you. Make all the necessary adjustments and allow the eyes to close and allow the mouth to close, and the breath settles. As you come to the end of your practice, you're granting yourself a few moments to absorb, to welcome, to feel any changes that may be being brought about by your practice. And within this space, know that there's nothing more required of you. By simply being here is more than enough. And within this freedom, within this allowing, you allow your awareness to rest and to come to the very center of the body, the center of the belly, the navel. And with your awareness lightly resting at the navel, just feel and experience the body's reaction to the breath here. On the inhale, how the navel rises out of the stillness. And on the exhale, the navel falls. The navel rises and falls 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And feeling deep down at the bottom of the breath, even deeper essence of stillness to be experienced. The stillness which resides at true authentic rest. Whole of the body is still, and the whole of the body is rested. As you be with that rest for a moment. Whole body is still, and whole of the body is rested. Well, from this position of deep rest, softly extend your awareness to your toes, with a little ripple of movement in the toes, welcome the feet back, the fingers up into the head and neck. The feet come together, right arm up overhead and behind as the left hand comes to the belly, and there's a fold in the left knee. Once you feel steady, roll to your right. Little hand support, push up to a seated position. And as you come to the end of your practice, your eyes remaining closed, take a moment to note any difference, any change to the start of your practice. So if you draw the palms together, create a little heat. Place the hands lightly over the eyes, gently cup. And extending massage throughout your eyes, your nose, your cheekbones, your temples. Take your hands a small distance away from your eyes. And gently blink your eyes open, gaze into your palms. Namaste. Thank you all so much. I hope you had a good practice. I hope the rest of your day goes well. Look forward to connecting with you in your next practice. Perhaps that'll be in an open air session, or maybe it'll be indoor as we progress towards back to normal classes. Have a good week. Thank you.